Hello guys, in this lecture we will study about the control structures. Now what are the control structures? A statement used to control the flow of execution in a program is called control structures. There are different types of control structures. One is sequence, two is selection, and three is repetition. We have already covered sequence in the last section. Now let's take a quick overview of what we have learned in the sequence. In sequential structure, the statements are executed in the same order in which they are specified in the program. The control flows from one statement to the other in a logical sequence. All statements are executed exactly once. It means that no statement is skipped and no statement is executed more than once. As you can see in this example, all the statements are written in a specific order. They will be executed in the same order in which they are specified. No statement will be skipped or no statement will repeat. Now let's talk about selection. A selection structure selects a statement or set of statements to execute on the basis of a condition. In this structure, statement or set of statements is executed when a particular condition is true and ignored when the condition is false. Now let's take an example. Suppose a program that inputs the temperature and then displays the message on the screen. If the temperature is greater than 35, then it displays the message hot day. When the temperature is between 25 and 35, then it displays the message pleasant day. If it is less than 25, then it displays the message cool day. As you have observed in this example, that we are displaying the message based on the condition. If the condition is true, then the specific message that is connected to the specific condition will be displayed. This is the flowchart of a simple selection statement. If the condition is true, then we will execute statement number 1. And if the condition is false, then we will execute statement number 2. Now let's talk about repetition or iteration. A repetition structure executes a statement or set of statements repeatedly. It is also known as iterations or loops. Now let's take an example. Suppose we want to display a message to the computer screen hello world 1000th time. It takes huge time to write that code and it takes more space as well. It is very easy to perform this task using loops or repetition structure. This is the simple flowchart of repetition. As you can see, when the condition is true, then we are repeatedly executing this statement, and our control will move to the condition again, and if the condition is true, then we will again execute the statement which is written under this repetition structure. But if the condition is false, then we will leave this loop. Now let me give you some interesting examples that will explain what is repetition and selection. This is the simple ball chase game, where the player's duty is to keep this ball away from this cat for the period of 10 seconds. If the player able to do this, then the player will win and the game will over. But if the cat catches the ball within the period of 10 seconds, then the game will over and the player will lose this game. Now let's play. As you can see, the player's duty is to keep this ball away from this cat for the period of 10 seconds. So I was able to keep this ball away from this cat for the period of 10 seconds. So as you observed that when this clock goes 11, which means that the 10 seconds period has been passed and now the game should be over and player should win. Now let's talk about the iteration. What you have observed regarding the iterations. This counter is basically an iteration which goes from 1 to 10. So we can only play this game for the period of 10 seconds unless these two objects doesn't collide with each other. Now what is the condition in this case? Yes, you guessed right. When this cat will catch the ball, then the game will over. This is the special case where this loop counter will not complete its life. Now let me play this again. As you can see, the counter is still 1 and the game is over because this cat touches the ball. Now let me do some analysis of this simple ball chase game. So first of all, start the counter from 1 and then if the ball hits the cat and the counter is less than 10, which means then stop the iteration and display the message game over, you lose. As you may notice that this action, that is stop the iteration and display the message game over, has been associated with this condition if the ball hits the cat and the counter is less than 10. Else we keep the normal things, that is keep moving and update the counter value by 1. If the cat don't touch the ball and the counter is equal to or greater than 10, which means then the player wins and display the message game over, you win. Now here the iteration is keep ticking counter from 1 to 10. And selection and decision is if the cat hits the ball and counter is equal to or greater than 10. So the first condition is this one and the second condition is this. I hope you understand the basic idea what is the difference between iteration and selection. In this section, we will only talk about the decision or selection. I hope you really enjoyed this lecture. Thank you for watching.